The stock market keeps going up. Is this crash and recession over? What's up, everybody? I am Jaspreet Singh and welcome to the Minority Mindset. In March, the stock market fell faster than we've ever seen happen in history, and we saw trillions and trillions of dollars worth of wealth vanish essentially overnight. And now the stock market is trying to rebound like LeBron James. Well, nothing can rebound as good as LeBron, but the stock market has gone up quite a bit. So what does that mean? Is the stock market crash over? Is this just a relief rally before we see more panic? Or is this something else? Well, you're in the right place because I'm going to be talking about what's happening in the stock market and the economy right now. And you want to make sure you watch this video until the end, because in the end of this video, I'm going to be talking about what you're going to expect next in the stock market. But before we get into that, hit that thumbs up button below, because if you don't, then YouTube doesn't show our video to anybody else. Subscribe to the Minority Mindset YouTube channel. That way you don't miss our new financial education videos every single week. And hit that little notification bell too, because if you don't, then YouTube doesn't let you know when their new videos are released. The stock market and the economy are similar but different. People take their money and they invest it in the stock market based on what they think is going to happen in the economy in the future, with some added emotion into it. So to understand what's going on in the stock market, we have to understand what's going on in the economy. At the time when we're recording this video, the economy is more shut down and beat up than ever. Almost every state in America is under some sort of lockdown, and this virus is still growing pretty quickly. Fundamentally speaking, our economy is not in the clear yet. Like, states are starting to extend their lockdown orders, small businesses are starting to go bankrupt, and the businesses that are open are going to have a tougher time driving revenue because companies like Walmart and Kroger are now limiting the amount of people that can shop in their stores at one time. Any rational person at this point would say that it makes no sense that the stock market is going up. Like, the economy is getting worse, more and more businesses are shutting down, and unemployment is skyrocketing. So how in the world can the stock market be going up? See, the problem is you're assuming that the stock market is rational. And over the long run, yeah, it tends to rationalize, but over the short term, the stock market is very, very emotional. There are a few reasons why right now you're seeing the stock market go up while the economy is going down. One is that the stock market was oversold to begin with, and so now prices are starting to normalize. Two is investors are realizing that this could be a great buying opportunity, so now they're coming in and buying, which would make the stock market go up. Or it could be three, that investors see recovery in the near future and they're buying because they think that the economy is going to recover. Or it could be four, none of the above. Now, let's talk reality. The average down market or bear market lasts somewhere between 12 to 18 months. This 2020 recession started in March, so chances are we're not going to be breaking record highs in a month. Will the stock market start crashing again and go lower than where we were in mid-March? Maybe. It depends on a few factors. We just entered the second quarter of 2020. What that means is companies are now going to start releasing earnings statements or reports telling the world of how much money they made or lost during the first 3 months of 2020. We can infer from what's happening around us that companies lost a lot of money in March and they probably lost money in February too, so we can expect some bad news. But now we're going to realize how bad it was or wasn't. I mean, some companies are only alive today and able to pay their employees today because the government has essentially given them an unlimited amount of free money, which is also why we've seen unemployment spike so high so fast. If I had to guess, remember, this is just a guess, I would guess that we're going to hear some very bad financial news in April and May as these companies release these earnings reports. Now, what you want to know is this bad news going to make the stock market come down even more? But before I get into that, I should also remind you that I'm just a random guy on YouTube. Investing has risks. You are never guaranteed to make money when you invest, so always do your own due diligence and don't just blindly listen to a random guy on YouTube. In a rational world, if a company comes out with a bad earnings report, like they come out and they say, oh, we lost a whole bunch of money, you would expect the stock to come down. Likewise, if a company has a very good and strong earnings report saying we made a whole bunch of money, you'd expect the stock to go up. In an emotional world, it doesn't always work like that. I'll give you a quick example. In late 2019 and early 2020, when there was a lot of euphoria in the stock market, stocks that had good earnings reports went up, and stocks that had bad earnings reports were also going up. Sometimes this happens because a company says that they had a bad few months, but they're gonna make up for it, or they have something really good and really big coming, and so people buy because they expect the future to be really good. Other times it happens because people get emotional and they don't want to miss out on the next big thing because they think everything is going up. This is why people who try to perfectly time the market lose out on huge opportunities to make a lot of money. When the stock market and stocks are coming down, they don't buy because they are trying to wait for the stock market to come down even lower. And then they miss out on the opportunity to sell their investments at big gains because they think that it's going to go even higher and it can't come down, and they want to sell it when it's at its peak. But you can't calculate when the peak will be. I like to take a more calculated approach. Again, I'm just a random guy on YouTube, so don't just blindly listen to what I have to say, but I buy gradually in phases. So I make a list of stocks or funds that I want to invest in, and as these companies and funds come down, I buy. And if they come down another 5 to 10%, I buy more aggressively. This way, as companies and funds that I want to own come down, I buy more and more aggressively as they come down even further. I call this strategy drip buying because I'm buying in phases, and now I don't have to worry about trying to perfectly time the market. Before I get into what will happen in our economy and the stock market if we see more bad news over the next few months, you should know that if you want to invest in the stock market, you have to use a stockbroker, and that's very easy thanks to our sponsor Webull, and I got their link in the description below. Using Webull to invest in the stock market is easy. All you have to do is open up a free account, fund your account, and then enter in which stock or fund you want to buy, and that's it. It's free to open an account, and they don't charge you a penny to make an investment or make a trade. That way you can use your money to make investments instead of using your money to make your broker richer. It's super easy to use, and you can do your research and invest in companies right off of their app. And the best part of all is that right now, at the time of me recording this video, Webull has a limited time promotion going on where they are giving Minority Mindset followers 2 free stocks just for investing with them when you use our link in the description below, and then you can read how you can get those 2 free stocks. So if you want to learn more, start investing and get your free stocks, I got the link to where you can do that in the description below. Minority Mindset is a partner with Webull, so if you use them, we will get compensated, but there's no additional cost to you. I mean, it's free to open an account. So if you want to learn more, I got their link in the description below. So what's next? If we see more bad news, is the stock market going to come down even more, or is this crash over? To really understand this, you have to remember what I said in the beginning of this video. The stock market and the economy are similar but different. The stock market is the place where people can go and invest their money based on what they think is going to happen in the economy in the future, plus with some emotion tied in it. Our economy is worse now than it was in March, and it will continue to get worse until this pandemic goes away and these lockdowns end. That's when people will have the ability to finally start spending money again. I don't know when it will be, maybe May, maybe June, hopefully sooner rather than later, but that's when our economy is going to face a bigger test than it's seeing right now. Right now, our economy is in emergency mode with our country in lockdown, and our government is providing life support by handing out free cash like Oprah. You get $1 trillion. You get $1 trillion. Everybody gets $1 trillion. But when our economy opens back up, these relief programs or free cash won't be as easily available, and we have no historical data or guidance showing us how businesses and people will react when the country and the economy opens back up. On one hand, it's possible that when the economy opens back up, businesses will go back to normal and people will start spending money like normal, and it will be like nothing ever happened. On the other hand, it could take people 6 months to a year to start going out to eat and go to movie theaters and go shopping and start traveling and spending money like normal. My guess is when the country and the economy open back up, people are still going to be scared to go out and spend their money because they don't know what's going to happen next and they don't know how safe their job is. If that happens, that could hurt our economy even more and put us into a deeper recession. I mean, even the CEO of JP Morgan Chase Bank went out in a letter and he said that the US could be entering a very bad recession. How bad? We don't know yet. So that's the economy. Now, let's take this economic information and tie it into the stock market. In March 2020, when the stock market tanked, it was panic. Nobody knew what was happening. People thought the world was going to end, and this was completely foreign and new. And so we saw a very intense and rapid drop in the stock market. Now, some people are starting to see light at the end of this tunnel, but what we don't know is what's after this tunnel. Chances are we're going to see more bad news in the economy over the next few months, if not year, and this bad news can push the stock market lower if it's worse than what people expect. People have already factored in bad news into the stock market. Now the question is, how bad will it actually be? If the news is bad, but it's not as bad as what people expect it to be, then the stock market might go up. If the news is bad and it's worse than what people expect it to be, then the stock market will probably come down. So you should expect at least a few months of very choppiness in the stock market where you'll see some big up days and some big down days. What you have to remember is that if you're investing for the long term, prices are still relatively cheap compared to 2019 and early 2020. Don't let your emotions distract you from making financial decisions. We don't know if we've hit the bottom yet, but even if we did, that doesn't mean that you can't make any money. Ask yourself, is the company that you want to invest in going to be in need and in demand in the next 5 to 10 years? If so, it might be a good investment if you can buy it on sale. And if you don't know how to find a good company to invest in, you can invest in an index fund like VOO and SPY. Again, I'm not telling you what to invest in, just an example, but these index funds are mimicking the top 500 companies in the United States. So if the stock market and these top companies go up, you make money. Plus, if you're a new investor, index funds help to limit your risk because if you put all your money into one company and that company went bankrupt, then you would lose all your money. And then when you have the long-term mindset, if the stock market tanks a whole lot more, you won't panic. You'll stay calm and you'll understand that this is just an opportunity for you to come in and buy more aggressively. Things are far from over and our economy still has some big hurdles to jump over. That's why I need you to remember to invest financially, not emotionally, and have that long-term mindset in mind. And remember, if you do want to get started with investing, we have our sponsor broker in the description below. Now, before I let you go, I want to hear from you. Is the stock market on the verge of breaking new highs, or are we about to come crashing back down? Let me know why or why not in the comments below. I try to read every comment that we get, and I'm really interested to hear what you think, so let me know. Thank you for watching. If you enjoyed this video, share it with one friend. That way we can help spread the word. If you want to learn more about how you can find a good company to invest in, I already made a video on it and you can watch it on YouTube by clicking this button right over here. Thank you for watching, and as always, keep hustling.